Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the series. I'm joined again today with Steve Maguire. How are you, Stephen?
Very well, Tom. Thank you.
That's the way. That's the way. Stephen, continuing our exploration through the Sparx Systems toolset with Enterprise Architect. Today, I believe we're looking at working sets. Is that correct?
Yes, Tom, we are. It's another very useful function of the tool, and it allows you to look at have particular sets of things that you're interested in open. So diagrams and libraries and searches, documents, all sorts of things. So it's a great topic, Tom, and I'm looking forward to to going through it with you.
No, sounds awesome. Take us away.
So yeah, let's start. We've got our layout here, and what we're going to do is we're going to open a diagram. And just so that people who aren't familiar with this, the start ribbon, the first panel on the start ribbon is the All Windows panel, and it has a number of icons: design, properties, collaborate, and all these icons have a very convenient list of the type of windows that you would use in that particular aspect of your work. So with design, we're going to go in here, and under explore, we're going to choose focus. We've got our browser window open and we've got our inspector window open. We're going to choose the focus window. Now that's come up here as another tab down here. Now I like to drag that off and change the workspace layout. I'm going to drop that into the position there so that I've got both my browser open and my focus window as well. Now the focus window has got a number of different panels on it. It's got model views, working sets, quick find, and revisit. So I'll just quickly look at these working sets, or look at the working sets first, and we'll come back and have a quick look at some of these other things. So working sets are sets of model, model documents, model diagrams, searches and things that you've got that you want to open or look at a particular time. So one of the things what we might do, and I'm in a position, Tom, where I'm working a number of different roles during the day. I might be, doing requirements modeling. I might be doing analysis and design, database work. And so the kind of things that I might want to look at in a project vary from time to time. So I'm going to press the new working set there. I'm going to give it a name. And what I can do is include things in this set. So I'm going to go add other, and I'm going to choose add a diagram. Now, this dialog box has just opened on another screen. I'm going to navigate through here and into my urban planning, and I'm going to say, look, I want this requirements diagram open there. So I'll list that in my list, and that comes up with a checkbox next to it. I'm going to add another one, which is again a diagram, and let's say it's the requirements and use case traceability. That was a useful diagram. Add another one, another diagram, and we'll do a behavioral diagram there, and let's choose our use case diagram. Now, there are a range of other things that I can add. I can add a matrix profile, for example, and so I'm going to choose that one. Say okay to that, and I'm going to add another thing, which is a search. Now, we haven't looked at the search term in any of the search facility in any of these videos, but it is a very powerful thing, and it's used across a number of different pieces of functionality. Here's one of them in the working sets. So I'm going to put in a payment as the search term there. So I'm interested in payments. I look at common searches and simple. So there's a whole range of different searches I can have in there, but that's the one that I'll put in there. And I will say that. I can change the order of these elements in here, but I think it's quite good the way that I've put them in. Requirements model, run the simple search, and let's go okay to that. And now you can see that these things pop up in this list down here. And what I can do is I can just double click on this, and it opens up all of the windows and the information that I specified. So I wanted a requirements model diagram, requirements and use cases, the use case diagram, the relationships matrix, and the search.
So, Stephen, almost behaves like bookmarks do in a browser, where you're sort of opening the content. You can open them all at once and sort of get back to maybe where you were working yesterday or something like that.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's right, Tom. It is exactly like that. And if we look at some of the options under here, we can look at refresh the working set, but apply when the model opens. So that's an option. So,
Oh, right.
you imagine that you come into the repository, you've got a big day ahead of you, and this is a real productivity tool. You can just, not just one set, but like I said, you could have a number of different working sets, and we'll look at doing another one in a minute, a slightly different way. But this working set will open up, and all the things that are important to you will be there and in their refreshed state, Tom. Like if someone's changed, something overnight, or someone else has been working on part of the model, then that will all be refreshed for you. So let's look at one other thing that I want to look at. And if you notice in here, if I click on this one here and I go add other, there's something else that comes up that we didn't do, which was add a team library. Now, we haven't done a video on team libraries, but what I want to do is just look at the library because it's an interesting thing to include there. So on the Start ribbon and on the Collaborate panel, and lots of tools there, Tom, we haven't looked at it, but we have a model library. So when I click that, the model library opens. Now, we haven't put anything into our library so far, but we are going to. So let's have a look at that, and we'll put some things into our model library. So we're going to go new item, new category there, and let's call it standards. So we're interested in putting some standards in there. And let's now look at it and say we have been concentrating on the UML. So let's put in here and say a new topic, and we'll say it's about standards for UML modeling, and we've got the abbreviation for it there. So now what we might want to do is we might want to say, look, we want to add a document. So let's go new document there, and we'll call it, let me have a look, UML modeling best practice. So I'll just remove some of these additional prefixes there, and it's a, well, I've gone a little bit too far there. Let's rename that and put the U back into UML. That's the key part of UML, isn't it? It's the U for unified.
The unifying components of it.
Yeah. So there it is. There's our document, and I've got that open there. Now I can simply start adding some things here. And one of the things that I might want to add is a title for the document, and let's just have a look at that. And let's say we want to add UML modeling best practices guide. Okay, so that's what we've got there. Now you notice up here we've got a new ribbon that's popped up, and we can change this. We can change the font. Let's put it into a different font, and let's go for 20, and let's change the font. There we can change the font, and let's go for something with a little bit more spice in it. We'll go for this. Where are we? This one I like is the Lucida calligraphy one. We can change the color of that as well, and let's drop the font down. It's a little bit large, so we can keep doing that, and then we can go and complete that document. Now I have completed that document, Tom, and I'm just going to do a little bit of magic here of my own, and I'm just going to paste that in. So this is a typical thing that might happen. You might have had some things outside in the file system somewhere, or on another location, and you can include these in here. So there we have. We've got our UML modeling best practice guides, general principles, consistency, clarity, purpose-driven modeling, and it'd be good to go back and check whether we've done all of these things. Show only primary actors on the left and secondary on the right. I think we did that one. But all the diagrams there, common pitfalls, over modeling, under modeling, all sorts of things that we've got in our library. But Tom, our focus wasn't on the library. It was more just to show with our working set. So I'm going to close this Teams document one now, and I'm going to show you, and I might just go back here, and I'll close all except the builder page. Okay, so what I want to show you, Tommy, is another way of working with the working sets, which is, I find, very useful because it's quite practical in a sense. And I'm just going to show you that. I'm going to create a new working set. But first, before I do that, I'm just going to browse through my model, and I'll just browse over here, and I'll look at some of the things that I'm interested in. And, I'm going to say that I'm doing some analysis work now. So I'm interested in the class diagram for sure. And I'm also interested in some test data there that we might be using. So I'm going to open that one up. And the component model, that was a diagram that I was interested in. And also the deployment model. So having got those ones open on the screen, I'm in the position now where I look at it and go, you know what, this set is really useful. I'll use this quite commonly. These are all the things that I'm kind of want to look at. So I could be also running a search, and so I can hit the Control F there and put a search term in. And I might want to look at NFC, which is near field communication for smartphone tapping. Run that search. There I get some results, and of course I can find those in the project browser or in diagrams. But having done that, I might now say, look, I'm interested in making this a new set. So I'll go new set there now, and I'll give it another name, UPM project analysis and design. And notice I've got this prefix here, Tom, because as we pointed out in a previous video, Enterprise Architect isn't just used for a single project. It's most common and most useful to have many projects in the one repository. And so we've prefixed that the urban parking meter system project, and so people can see that one applies to that. Now, if you look at this now, you can see that this conveniently is popped up with all the things that I had open. I've got my class model, class instance, component, run the search, and I can tick each one of them by hand, or I can say include all. And if I want to change the order of these ones, I can. I think they're in a decent order, but I could, move these ones up or move them down again. And that's all okay. So let's go to that and say, okay. Now I've got a new set here. And I'll just close these and pretend that I've just been working on something else. And I'll close all there. And let's pretend that I was working on this one. All of those ones open. I'll just close all of those ones now. I'll just hide that start page for a minute. Close all, and I'll look at my design one here. And so I can just open that up, and again, all these things pop up ready for me to go. Now, Tom, we put our UML guidelines into the library, but we haven't used that yet. Let me just show you a really useful thing we can do. So even though we've got our set defined, we can say add other, and I'll look at putting a team library thing in. Team library window pops up, and it's this one here that I want to put in. So I'll go okay to that, and you can see now that that's ticked as well. So I can go okay to that. Let's close this again and pretend that we're starting from scratch, and let's open up this now. And you can see now that the team library guideline pops up. And we're working with a single monitor here to display, but this is the kind of thing that you could drag that onto another monitor and have those best practice guidelines there. Yeah. And Tom, don't be fooled by the fact that we just put in a document from the file system or created one in here. We can load things from the file system into the library. We can load them, draw them. As you saw, I started creating this document inside the tool itself, but I can also link to other things. So let me just show you this if you like it. So in here, I just want to add another thing, and I want to say add URL, right? So I'm going to put this in now, and let's imagine that we've got our technical team, and they are really really sound at their UML, and they need to look at the UML specification from time to time to make sure that they're doing their work correctly. This wouldn't be for everyone, and the PDF UML specification is just an example. You could have other guidelines. You could be linking into SharePoint or other content management systems, wherever you want it to link to. So, but this is just an example of an external one. Now, what I'm going to do is double click on this one, and what's happened is that it's opened up in this other browser over here, and I'm just going to close that and bring that over onto this screen so you can see it. And that's opened up the UML specification. And I had a bookmarked when I was looking at some other things before, so it's opened up at a particular place. But I can then move to any location in there as well. So the focus of this video, Tom, has been on the working sets. But as always, the parts of UML of Enterprise Architect and the functionality, they're all linked to each other. So you can see that we've linked to the search, we've linked to the relationship matrix that we had in this other one. So there's all sorts of links to those things. So we can look at any of these elements with the working set.
Yeah, right. Very cool there, Stephen. I could see the value for this, say, at the end of the day, or like a Friday afternoon after you spent all day and all week sort of working on your model. You want to get back to it, you're not quite finished yet for Monday. You could just like save your working set and then on Monday come back and open it all up and you're ready to go again. Yeah,
that's right, Tom. One other thing we didn't look at, which is a kind of an interesting thing, and we haven't done this before, but let's do this now. We've got our working sets there. Now let's log in as a different user. So one of my colleagues is here, and she's going to log in, and let's have a look what happens now, Tom. I don't know whether that's what you would have expected, but the working sets have gone away. And the reason for that is because Enterprise Architect knows that different people work on different models. And so I don't want my working sets, or Jenny doesn't want my working sets, and I don't want hers. But Tom, let's have a look at what happens if I log back in as myself again. And what would we expect to happen? Well, you guessed it. You'd expect that would have saved those things and pop back up again. Now,
okay.
I had a conversation with Jenny, who's actually doing requirements work with me, and she looked at the fact that I was, getting off to a rocketing start every morning, and she went, "How are you doing that?" And I explained it to her, and she said, "Look, rather than create my own, can I use some of yours?" And so I said, "Yes, of course, Jenny. I'd be very happy to share them." And that's the motto with all this modeling, Tom, is sharing things. And Enterprise Architect, with all its collaboration features, lets you do that. But here, hidden in this little working sets window, I've got this one of share the working set. So now you can see that a little green button pops up there, and that's indicating that it's shared. So now if I go back and log in as another user, and again, as Jenny's one, and put in the password, and lo and behold, she's got hold of my things. Let's, close all of these, and, let's open those. And she's off to a flying start as well, Tom. So,
Jenny's probably very thankful for your work to get those set up. The other thing too, I guess, if Jenny wants to start herself, she can go back to the portals window like you showed at the start too.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. So she can create her own workspace layout. She can create her own things, and that's the thing, Tom. It's an important thing in the tool, and there are times when you want things that you model to be universally available. So you create a class diagram, for example. It's pretty much the nature of the tool and the nature of what you're doing to be able to share that. But there are times that you don't want to do that, and you want to do your own thing. So that's an important thing for people that are building up their understanding of the tool, is to understand which things in the tool are going to be available to everyone that's in the modeling team, and which things are specific to you. And we'll talk about that as we go through the videos.
Sounds good. One question I do have, if Jenny changes the working set, does that change it for me too?
Yes,
is that a collaborative environment? It is. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that way, as Jenny, she won't work on the project while I've got my roster day off or what have you, and when I come back, then I can get started even faster because she's done the work for me.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Tom. So if let's take a bit more of a cynical thing and say that, you know, I went away for the holidays. Jenny was using this thing, and then she decided that she wanted to add a whole lot of things, and they didn't suit me. I then have the flexibility of going, look, that's fine, Jenny, but I want to, you know, break free from that. And I can just create a new working set based on the other one, and that's specific to me. So
Yeah, okay.
lots of flexibility there, Tom.
Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. Well, I encourage people to have a play around with the working sets if they get a chance at home or in the office. Thank you very much, everyone, again for watching. Really appreciate your support. So please like, comment, and subscribe on these videos, and we'll continue the series running. Thank you, Stephen, for joining us again today. Insightful as always.
Always a pleasure, Tom.
We'll see everyone back for the next video tomorrow.